Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Eleni and this is my new emoji face. Today I am going to do a book flip through review on a beautifully colored book called Raw Food, Real World by Matthew Kenney and Sarma Melngailis, if that's pronounced correctly. Sarma, sorry if I botched up your last name. And so without further ado, let's get on with the review. Raw Food, Real World, Matthew Kenney and Sarma Melngailis. This book is just a beautifully colored book. Even the pages are full of color, just like the raw food itself. Colorful, gorgeous and delicious food. There's a lot of information here. In the beginning they talk about, Matthew and Sarma talk about their story and how they became raw vegan foodists and how they came to own a restaurant in New York. Currently, I think Sarma owns the restaurant on her own. I don't think that Matthew owns the restaurant with her anymore. So there's a lot of detail, information about ingredients to stock up in your pantry as a raw vegan. All the ingredients that you will use most of the time. There's a note on supplements, sweeteners, good, the bad, and the scary, equipment and techniques. Of course, you do not need to use all the equipment they suggest here. You can always work around some of that equipment. But it would be nice if you could have it. Many years ago, I had a liver problem because I used to take a pill for every ill, and I was feeling awful. I had a lot of pain, and whatever the enzymes are in the liver were elevated, extremely elevated, and the doctor I went to wanted to put me on medication, which was pretty ironic, you know, putting me on medication, and the reason I had that problem was because of medication. So I refused, and I decided to do some research. And in my research I came across a raw vegan diet, which I decided to try on my own. At that time I was not vegan. And I did that for 6 months and completely healed my liver problem. So a raw vegan diet, you know, still has all the wonderful enzymes and, you know, nutrition. A lot of times when we cook things, we kill all of those living enzymes and the very delicate nutrition that's in fruits and vegetables. The majority of my diet is raw, but I do incorporate cooked food because obviously there's some things that you cannot eat raw. You have to eat them cooked. So as you can see, this book has some beautiful, colorful recipes, colorful pictures. A lot of these recipes are not difficult to make at all. Some of them are a little more complicated and require, you know, days of, knowing what you're going to do in advance, especially when you're dehydrating. Dehydrating takes 12 hours or more, 24 hours. And so a lot of the recipes that have like crepes or some type of cracker, that requires dehydration. You can use your oven to dehydrate as long as it has a very, very low setting. And of course you can still enjoy champagne and wine. Wraps are so easy to make and is so delicious when you have the right dressing. This type of cracker here would require dehydrating. But you know, you spend a weekend dehydrating a bunch of crackers and crepes, and you just save them in the refrigerator for the next time when you make a dish that requires that type of thing. Here's a crepe that would require dehydrating as well. Sometimes, a lot of times, you can buy these things, like this is rice paper. You could buy that from a store. You don't have to make your own, as long as it's raw and not cooked. And also, if you don't feel like investing in a dehydrator or spending so many hours dehydrating, you could, a lot of these things, you know, you can purchase from Whole Foods or even Amazon. I mean, this even looks like rice, but of course it's not rice, because rice would have to be cooked. It's probably cauliflower. But just some delicious, gorgeous looking recipes. This would require a dehydrator, definitely. I made this when I tried the raw vegan diet, and although it was time consuming, it was so delicious. It really was. And I love this type of food. You know, noodles. Look at that thick green sauce in there. It looks fantastic. There's some wonderful raw vegan food restaurants in Los Angeles if you live there. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and we do have probably a few, but Los Angeles definitely beats the Bay Area as far as vegan restaurants and raw food restaurants. Desserts. So many absolutely delicious desserts that a raw vegan diet has. Of course, if you're trying to lose weight, you don't want to be eating too many desserts. You don't want to be eating too many desserts. You don't want to be eating too many nuts and seeds and oils if you're trying to lose weight. Lime mousse. Ice cream. Of course, you make ice cream with like frozen fruits, frozen bananas. I tried these macaroons. Delicious, absolutely delicious. And then you have breakfast and brunch ideas. And you know, French toast, but of course it's raw. It's not actually bread that you would buy. You would, you know, make that and probably, you know, put it in the dehydrator. Chutneys, sour cream, juices. Juices is a big part of the raw vegan diet. And there are lots of different types of juices. It's best if you can add more vegetables than fruit if you want to lose weight. And then cocktails, martini, frozen grape champagne. I mean, that sounds so delicious. then just some, you know, information about, you know, what different people have said. Detoxing. And that's true. Eat raw, live long. Live long, strong, healthy. And then just a bunch of, you know, different, this just tells you there are different sources, different, what everything is. For example, you know, grains and seeds, and it tells you, gives you more detail about those. And also places where you can buy. Different online stores where you can buy these things. Recommended reading, which is always great. And then an index, and that's it. It's a fantastic book. It's beautiful, it's colorful, and I highly recommend it.